Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Well, I just got back from a birthday dinner with my dad and my two half-brothers and Peter. Kind of a special time to have all the kids together. Just got me thinking about my parents and my family and how they're such a huge part of my life and how I was brought up and how that's affected my parenting and how I'm a lot more aware of the parenting that my parents did when I was really young, and seeing them as grandparents to Ashland, I've been really inspired. I've always been close with my parents. I think the hardest time my mom and I had was when I was 4. Apparently, I was really bratty and bossy, and I'm none of those things now. But really, growing up basically as an only child, my dad had 2 boys, so I had older brothers, but they were leaving the house when I was born. So, you know, they just come home in the summer, and so I always had a really neat relationship with them. But I was basically an only child, just growing up alone in the house. So I've always been very close with my parents, and I feel very fortunate that I've had that close relationship, and it's, you know, most certainly probably the closest I've ever been with them now, because I'm a parent and I'm leaning on them for help and support in a new way. So ever since I was little, my parents were really involved. They both worked, so I had to be in childcare, and I know that was really hard for my mom, really hard for both of them. But my dad was a teacher, so he was able to, you know, come get me at after school times and be with me until the evening when my mom got back from work. But they were always, you know, really involved with me and really conscientious about my upbringing, besides just instilling great morals and values. And my mom really was the one who brought me to church. I had a really well-rounded childhood, just in terms of my exposure to arts and to sports. And, you know, I was taken to music classes at the university when I was really little and just exposed to all that. And that's really how I started. I was really inspired by all the art that I saw, and clearly I just picked it up. I mean, I started singing in church, and I actually work with one of my mentors now that I did when I was really little. So through my adolescence, I was still very close with them. I don't think we had the typical, like, constant teenage fighting with my parents phase. I mean, I definitely think there were times. The biggest issue that I can remember was movies. I couldn't see PG-13 until I was 13. I couldn't see R until I was 17. I mean, there might have been 1 or 2 exceptions, but it was a huge deal to me. I don't know why it's so funny now being a parent. I mean, I'm not even close to that yet, but I really appreciate it, and I'm like 100% on board with that. You know, really censoring what kind of TV and movies my children watch. But it's funny to look back on those things and go, okay, you were right. We didn't really ever have a tough time that I can remember. I think the toughest time was when I was a toddler. There was a power struggle going on back then for sure. But now, you know, being a parent, I lean on them so much, and they're such a huge part of our lives. I mean, they've always been a big part of my life. We've become closer in a different way, and really just sharing the love that we have for Ashland, seeing them as grandparents, and it's really special. We're lucky enough to live really close to my mom and dad. Peter is very close with them as well. So we have dinner at least once a week with them, I'd say. Sometimes more, sometimes less, just depends. I would consider them, you know, 2 of my close friends. Yet they're still, you know, have a parenting role in my life. I very much look up to them, and I still feel like a kid sometimes, you know. I'm always asking them questions and leaning on them for support and for help, and that's something I've always received, and I feel so lucky. Not only are they 2 of my closest friends, but they're just my #1 supporters, and for Peter and I both. And they've been so unbelievable as grandparents. They watch Ashland twice a week, and that's when I'm teaching voice lessons. So 2 days out of the week they have a really nice concentrated time with him. Usually I feel like there's another day that jumps in. I feel like Ashland is so lucky to be able to grow up so close with his grandparents. He's so lucky to have his Nana in his life and his grandparents so close. And so I also wanted to just say thank you, Mom and Dad. I love you so much, and so grateful for your role in my life and your role in my son's life. I couldn't do this without you. That is most certainly true. Peter and I are so blessed to have you in our lives, and it's just been really fun seeing you as grandparents, and really touches our hearts, and we're so blessed. I have such respect for you, and I hope and pray that I learn to parent the way you parented me, and I know that I'll make my own decisions and make my own mistakes and do things my own way, but I really learned from you, and I see you as an example of outstanding parents. And I hope I'm just a tenth of what you are to me, and I hope I have this close relationship with Ashlyn when I'm older. Thank you for always supporting my dreams and just being there by my side through everything. I'm really proud to be your daughter. I feel like the way you raised me has prepared me to be a good parent. I feel so supported by you in my parenting journey. The way you raised me has prepared me to be a good parent. I feel so supported by you in my parenting journey, and I'm just really grateful for that. Thank you, and I love you. There's so much that's unsaid that I think they both know, but it's important to tell those you love how much you love them and appreciate them. And so I was just feeling warm and fuzzy, and I wanted to share this with you all. And really what I want to do is encourage you to call your mom and dad. Reach out to those who have guided you along the way. Call them now and just tell them how much you appreciate them. And you know, there's something to be said for counting our blessings and acknowledging those people in our lives who have made sacrifices for us and stood by us through hard times and through great times and celebrated with us. And really important to tell those people that you love them. And I will do this in person, not only on this vlog, but you know, I try to tell them almost every day that I love them. There's all the warm and fuzzies for you, everybody. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you all next Thursday. And maybe before then will be something musical. I hope it's done. I will see you all next week. Bye.